F1 returns to Canada this weekend, home to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve and two of the richest drivers in our grid, Lance Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. Ever since their debut in the sport in 2017 and 2020 respectively, they've been consistently criticised by pundits and fans alike over their skill set, and whether or not it's up to F1 standard or if it's just solely the money that gets them to drive in F1. Spoiler alert, it is the money. That is the reason they got into Formula 1, and especially with Lance, that's the reason he got into Formula 1 so young. However, this isn't unusual. Nearly all F1 drivers do come from some money, with even Lando Norris's father sitting in the top 500 richest people in England, so it's totally normal for drivers to come in with the help of funding and sponsors to secure a seat. And just because they pay their way in, it doesn't necessarily mean they don't deserve their spot. I mean, Sergio Perez was originally a paid driver, and we can all agree he deserves to be in F1, so today we're looking into whether or not Nicholas Latifi and Lance Stroll have earned their spot in Formula 1. Obviously, we all know they paid their way in the sport in the first place, but what we're actually trying to look at here is if they've done enough during their time in the sport to actually stay here. Is it time for us to stop critiquing them all, or is it time for them to leave? Let's find out. Starting off with Nicholas, he was born in Montreal in 1995 to businessman Michael Latifi, who, for lack of better terms, is loaded. As the chairman and CEO of Safina Foods, which has a revenue of around $2 billion, it's safe to say he doesn't have to worry about paying an extra 15p for a bag at Tesco. So when Nicholas wanted to start racing at age 13, money wasn't a problem, allowing him to travel and compete from the start with relative ease. His performance on track wasn't awful, with him finishing most series in the top half, and he even came second in the 2010 Canadian Karting Championships and won the Florida Winter Tour in 2012. So at this point it's fair to say he's undershot in single-seaters. Thus, over the next 4 years, Latifi competed in Italian F3, British F3, the F3 European Championship and the Formula Renault 3.5 Championship, with little to no success, taking just one win out of the 118 races he took part in just those series alone. So not quite the dominant junior career we've seen from the likes of George Russell or Max Verstappen and people like that, but one win is better than no wins, I guess? I'm assuming that was the thought process from the Dams F2 team as they signed him in late 2015 to drive for them. I'm sure the fact that his dad's company was advertised all over the car had nothing to do with it. He then spent 4 entire seasons in F2, not really making a splash for the majority of his time there, finishing 16th, 5th and 9th in the championship, before finally in 2019 he found something and took 4 wins, finishing in 2nd place overall. And we all know where things went from there, as he signed for Williams in 2020 and has been there ever since. But did he get there based off his junior career? Probably not. It was most likely more to do with the fact that his dad was bringing in 30 million to the team every season. His time in F1 has been undoubtedly poor, failing to score in 2020 as he finished 21st in a championship with only 20 drivers, and being dominantly outperformed by his teammate consistently from the start to now. But it's in this 2022 season that his performances have gotten even worse, crashing twice in Jeddah, colliding with Stroll in Australia, and putting it under the wall under safety car in Monaco. So it's no surprise that there are so many rumours right now surrounding him getting the boot midway through the season to make way for Formula E champion Nick de Vries, who even took the Williams for a spin in FP1 in Spain. Overall, I think we can all agree that Latifi hasn't really earned his seat, and objectively doesn't really deserve to be in F1. However, moving on to Stroll, things aren't quite as black and white. Lance's father, Lawrence Stroll, has a reported net worth of $3.2 billion. So, just like Mrs. Latifi, money wasn't an issue when it came to funding his son's racing career. Yet, unlike Nicholas, Lance was much more successful in his time racing, dominating in his early years of karting in Canada and performing well internationally. Stroll was a decent young talent in his own right. Moving into race cars, he won the Italian F4 Championship in his first ever season in 2014 and took home the Toyota Racing Series title in 2015. Then in his 3rd year of open wheel racing, Lance took part in the European F3 Series, where he dominated, taking 14 wins and finishing over 187 points ahead of 2nd place. But Aiden, I hear you all saying, he must have been up against some random no-name drivers in that series, right? George Russell, Maximilian Gunther, Callum Ilott, Antoine Hubert, Zhou Guanyu all raced that year and got beaten by Lance Stroll. But it must be noted that his cash did play a role, as his father spared no expense in ensuring he was as well prepared as possible to perform, even taking his son around the world in a 2014 Williams F1 car to test tracks like Silverstone, Hungary, Monza, the list goes on. In fact, Williams' Pat Simmons later admitted, the last rookie with that many kilometres of testing for his debut was Jacques Villeneuve. Stroll paid a reported $80 million for his son to join the Williams team in 2017, and from his first practice session in the sport to this very day, his career has been one of ups and downs, as he started the year off crashing in the first 3 races, before securing a podium in Baku not long after. He then qualified 4th in the wet of the Italian GP, before ending the season just 4 points behind his teammate in 12th. So as far as a rookie season goes, not awful, but not quite fantastic. 2018 was a rough one, as the car was poor and he had no real standout moments. However, with his dad buying Racing Point, he moved there for 2019, and performed. just as badly. Scoring just 21 points to his teammates' 52, and was out-qualified by Perez on 18 out of the 21 races. In 2022 though, Lance seemed to find his groove, as he consistently sat at the sharp end of the grid and even got on the podium in Italy, resulting in him sitting 4th in the Drivers' Championship after 8 races. A huge crash at Mugello followed by him getting COVID though put an end to all this, as his performances seemed to drop away. However, he still had a few surprises in store, as he put the car on pole in Turkey and got onto the podium at Sakhir. He finished just 11th overall with his teammate in 4th, and since then things have just been seemed to be going downhill for the Canadian, as the newly renamed Aston Martin team dropped down the order in 2021 and Lance's mistakes began to make a return. Most notably this season with a crash in Australia, Monaco under the safety car, and twice in quick succession during qualifying at Baku. Stroll isn't doing great at the moment, however unlike Latifi, he has the added bonus of his dad owning the racing team, so he doesn't have to worry about getting dropped anytime soon. But coming back to the question of this video now though, does he deserve to be in F1? Well, personally I think given his junior career he definitely deserved a shot in the sport, and during 2020 he genuinely proved he deserved to be here, yet at this point in 2022 though, the argument for him deserving this seat is a lot more shaky. I'm gonna say yes for now, but I am a little bit biased because I do like Lance Stroll, but for me he does have to turn things around, and quick, because I don't know how much longer I give him the benefit of the doubt for, because he's just not performing. As for Latifi, we've all agreed he doesn't deserve to be here. He seems like a lovely bloke off the track, but on it, he's just not at that F1 level. With all that being said though lads, let us know what you lot think in the comment section down below. Whether you think Stroll deserves to not be in F1 or for some reason Latifi does, let us know whatever your opinion in the comment section. I'm going to be down there, I'm going to be reading them, I might even reply to you if you're lucky. But yeah, that is this video done. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I've been Aiden, this has been Crash F1. Thank you for watching, goodbye.